There, now it's recording.
Okay. So it's already recording.
Yeah, it is right now.
Here.
Alright, now the phone again.
He said it's already recording.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. This is called the time-worn statue. With rivulets of verdant green to dispel the myth that once she had a happy life, or prove she had too much joy. Clothed in an immovable dress that once shone, and yet with outstretched hand she welcomes all and beseeches them to love her still, though time and tide have had their way with her.
Yeah, you me too. I actually can see the statue.
Alright. This is a bit of a gritty poem. It's about me, about my life. But hey Gerald. Alright, this one is called Unwarranted Dismissal. Why is it me that has to overcome, outdo, overpower, just to permit me the honor or the distraction of absolution in your arms? Why must I destroy everything about me just in order to allow me the one thing everyone needs, love? Why must I be a successful someone? Because I'm pretty successful at being myself. Why must I conform, or else why must I be outcast? Okay. This one is called Feelings Unexpressed. You are the one who gave me love when I didn't know I needed it. You made whole my heart, which had been cast into shards to be hastily taped together. Your youthfulness brought back years to my life, years that I had thought had passed me by. You brought me back from the brink of death. Now, no matter where you go, my heart shall be your guardian angel, always by your side, because I love you. Oh, first I like this one. This one is called Ode of Moses. Years mount years as I tread ahead of scores of my kinsmen, apparently aimlessly across the sun-strewn wasteland. Meanwhile, we bake with the ground till it seems as though the sand refused to glass. Through this desert that seems endless, we trek with myself in the lead, heading towards a land which my God promised us, while debauchery and blasphemy are rampant through the masses of unwashed and weary exiles, of which we are composed of. I struggle to keep order and obeisance to the one who leads me forward, pulling with me my would-be mendicant kinfolk through a landscape that tries its best to imitate Hades. I just hope it is not me who is errantly being led astray, but this I strongly doubt. Meanwhile, we subsist on the meager portions that are offered by this desolate landscape. For even I am being led while I lead my kinsmen through this nightmare landscape. This one is called The Death of a Swashbuckler. To be or not to be, that is the question. For he ponders Shakespeare while at war, and a regimental sailor comes to be his next adversary. With a flurry of sabers, they enter into that dance of death, with expert parries and lunges, with blocks and thrusts. They play with each other as children in the schoolyard. And he is the D'Artagnan of the seas. His enemy? No, not enemy. His playmate is the sea-bound Athos. They are masters in the dance of death. Suddenly, unexpectedly, from behind he is knifed by a naive greenhorn, unknown to the rules of the game. Falling to the blood-stained deck, he stares at the calm expanse of ocean, mysteriously choppy for all the calm, amazed that he had fallen. They were only playing, weren't they? And he reminisces about fallen sea-bound musketeers, intense romances on distant shores, and the comedy of it all, that he should fall where he was feared, on the open seaways, so far from land. For he is master of this court, and he turns inward. Oh well, I guess not to be. That is the answer. This is one of my older poems, but kind of a personal favorite. I call it The Confession. A man paces down the sturdy hardness of the sidewalk. He passes man, asking for change to live on. Passes him by. But then comes a divine inspiration, and so slowly he turns, walking back. Kneeling, he confronts him. The bum, the moocher, the degenerate. Call him what you will, because each man is the same. Here's another poem about me. It's called One Man's Mountain. Onward he muddles through his troubled mind, born alone but for a tenuous thread, born by a man he calls dad. Yet through his turmoiled senses, a light he sees within himself, with which he may overcome all. And so, slowly, with gathering rapidity, he remembers to walk again. Left, right, recalling the mechanics, fueled by the memory of the wheelchair he left behind, wrestling through the quagmire of horrendous past events, step by painful step. Oh, sorry. Extricating himself from the chains of past demeanors, pulling at the invisible ropes of justice and tenacity. Language becomes his weapon of choice, slaying monsters only he may know. Monsters, once vanquished, will set him free.
Very good.
Thank you. Alright, this one is called The Jaded Angel. Oh. Yeah. Every generation has its angel. From the start of time, we each have had someone to turn to for salvation, but for some reason, we've almost always treated that person poorly. As children, they lifted us up in light, and as adults, that light shines through the tarnish, the detritus which is accumulated from the years of dealing with an imperfect world. But there are a few who, through strong convictions, let most of their light still show. A few angels I recognize are Mother Teresa, Joan of Arc, St. Francis of Assisi, but most go unrecognized because they have blended into our lives, often taken for granted. We miss them because their coats are tarnished from the acts we commit. Oh, go right ahead.